Lights glow warmly. The scent of fresh pine lingers in the air. You can hear the sound of a crackling fire in the distance. It's not about nostalgia. It's about this feeling of quiet luxury that you can never let go of. And Ralph Lauren Christmas is the exact way to accomplish that feeling. And in today's video, I'm going to show you the tips and tricks to accomplishing this Ralph Lauren Christmas look without necessarily having to buy from them. But you're going to be able to achieve this luxury look without breaking the bank. What do you think of when you think of Ralph Lauren Christmas? You think of warmth, comfort, textured, layered, restraint, conversation. It's a setting that you can imagine yourself in, so naturally you would want to bring that into your home. Let's start today's video by chatting about color and texture, because this is the foundation upon which this entire thing is built upon. So when you think of Ralph Lauren fashion, you probably think of the same colors: navy, deep greens, browns. Ralph Lauren really sits on the deeper end of like the color wheel. So we're not going sage green, we're going hunter green, right? We're not going bright red, we're going oxblood red. We're not going sky blue, we're going navy. We're going into those deeper tones to accomplish this look. So you're going to notice that this entire style is very, very dark, but not in a harrowing way, not in an off-putting way, in a cozy, in a I want to settle in sort of way. And don't worry, later on we're going to talk about how we can contrast that with some lighting so that it doesn't feel so hobbity, if you will. And in this style, you're going to see a lot of solid colors like the ones that I just outlined, but a hallmark of the Ralph Lauren style, fashion-wise, and also when it comes to their home decor, is plaid. But we're not just getting any type of plaid. There are certain types of plaids that Ralph Lauren is known for. So first up, we're going to see tartan plaid, and that's one we're all familiar with because you just think red, green, right? Typical Christmas colors. We all know this tartan plaid, and you might not have known that that's what it's called, but you've seen it before. Trust and believe, you've probably mostly seen it in pajamas and in ribbon. You're also going to see some black watch plaid, so that is like a navy and green based plaid, a lot deeper, in my opinion, a lot more regal looking. Definitely the type of plaid that I would like to see. Again, you've seen it in pajamas. I'm telling you, you've seen it in pajamas. It's just something you've seen before that you're really going to want to settle into. So where are we going to see these plaids? We're going to see them in our pillow covers. We can see them in our upholstery. That seems like a lot of effort for Christmas though. I say let's do pillow covers. We're going to see it in our blankets, our tablecloths, our napkins, our ribbons, our pajamas. We're just basically going to see this plaid in the textiles that we lay throughout the house. The easiest place to do is going to be in that ribbon, because you can put that ribbon on your gifts, on your vessels, on your Christmas tree. You can kind of scatter it throughout the home in whatever way makes sense for you. But besides plaid, what else are we seeing in terms of pattern and texture? We're gonna see a lot of leather. I think leather is a great way to get more of a rugged, homey, earthy look. You see that a lot in Ralph Lauren fashion, so we're gonna see that in Christmas here as well. You're gonna see a little bit of fur, not as much as you might expect from like a Pottery Barn or something like that. This isn't necessarily a style that hugely leans into the faux fur. We're gonna see more of those leathers. And again, you're gonna see the leather mostly in the upholstery because they're big on the Chesterfields. They're big on those big club chairs. And I'm not saying that you introduce any of that, but you can have leather in something as simple as your napkin rings. That's how I'm introducing this vibe into my house for the holiday season. Something simple like this napkin ring. It has the leather, it has the texture. You can really see the grain of it. It just introduces that movement that gives that textured look that Ralph Lauren is known for. Another fabric you're going to see is a lot of velvet. Velvet is going to be huge with the Ralph Lauren style, in the ribbon, in your tree skirt, in your blankets. Velvet is something that we use year round, so this is going to be something that's really easy for you to accomplish. We're just going to lean into those colors that I'd already mentioned though. Instead of going the bright white, we're going to go a little bit deeper, and if you do feel like we need to keep it lighter, we're going to go cream. We're not going to go bright white. Now let's talk metals, because metals are very important. So this is not where you're going to see the shiny gold. We're going to see brass. We're going to see something with patina. We're going to see signs of aging. We might even see pewter, but we're not going to lean heavily into this. We're going to have little accents of gold, but we're not going to overwhelm the space with them. So we might see them in something like a lamp, right? Or the lamp that you see behind me. You might see a little bit of it on a tray, but we're not doing a gold tablecloth. We're not doing gold chargers everywhere. We're going to keep it to a minimum. We're using the metals in this situation to reflect all that beautiful light that we're having, that we're going to talk about shortly. We're not using it as a way to like shine bright like a diamond. It is not the star of the show. We want it to be a more subdued element in this design style. And those are all of the colors and textures that are going to like really serve as the framework for this Ralph Lauren Christmas look. But in doing this, you want to layer all of these. So I don't want you to just say navy's it, I'm doing navy, and then just do navy decor. You need the navy, you need the red, you need the brown, you need the different textures and the different materials, because the layered look is the lived in look, and that's what this Ralph Lauren style is about. And that's one of the beautiful things about this, is that it is such a lived in look that you can live in this look. This is something you're going to be able to maintain with your Christmas decorating. I hate Christmas decor that's in the way. You feel like you can't live, you feel like you are tiptoeing around your decor, it's ruining your space, you want to take it down before Christmas even happens. That's not going to be the case with this Ralph Lauren style. Next, let's move into their signature styling elements, because I told you the color, I told you the texture, you're like, okay, Kiva, get to the good stuff. Okay, we're at the good stuff. We're at the good stuff, don't worry. The Ralph Lauren Christmas is about the drama. It's like, am I the drama? Yes, I am the drama with the Ralph Lauren Christmas. This decor is going to go top to bottom in your home. I don't want a stone uncovered when it comes to this, because we want to adorn everything. Hallmark number 1 is the hurricane candle holder. If you don't know what that is, it basically is like either a vase or a pedestal for a candle. And I don't want to see any unlit candles. If there is a hurricane candle holder, I want it to be holding a candle in it that is illuminated. I don't care if it's LED, it can be LED, right? Okay, we want it to be warm and cozy. We don't want it to be so warm that we have to put on our summer clothes. Okay. But we want the illumination. So I want LED or real candles in them, and I want them everywhere. This is also the design style where we're going to see those beautiful candles in the windows. Oh, I love a candle in the window moment. It gives Home Alone. I can't wait until I have windows where I can do this. That will be the best day of my life. Oh, they're so gorgeous, they're so dreamy, and they bring your design style outside, just like we need to bring our design style upwards. But we're gonna see hurricane candles on our coffee table, our side tables, on our windows, like any surface you can find. We're gonna have a hurricane candle with an illuminated candle on the inside. Generally speaking though, there's going to be tabletop lighting, so not just those candle holders that I just told you about. We might see taper candles. We're also going to see things like this. We want USB lighting. We want something that's shooting the light down so that we're focused on like our table setting, what we're seeing there, but we're not like blinding people, right? We're having conversation. It's sultry, it's moody, it's cozy. It's not like it's interview time. You know, that's not the vibe that we want. Did I scare you a little bit? Because that was the goal. In terms of greenery, we're going to pack it on. So there's going to be a lot of pine. Naturally, that makes sense. But it's not just gonna be pine. We're gonna have pine cones. We're gonna have that woody element. We're gonna have nice woodsy elements like pine. We're gonna have sticks, and they're gonna be tall, overflowing sticks. We're either gonna do something really nice and dramatic. We're gonna have big overflowing greenery like you can't see the person on the other side of the table. They're going to be standalone brown ones. We're gonna have ribbon and all of that, or we're gonna have red berries as well, but it's going to be overflowing, it's going to be big. And if it's not overflowing and big in front of you, it's going to be overflowing and big on the center of a table or suspended from the ceiling. We're going to have something grand and in your face and impractical at least one place in our decor. For me personally, I would either suspend like a wreath over top of my dining table and adorn that with all of these items, or put them on my mirror, which is probably what I'm going to do as a new parent, just to keep things away from the child. So we're gonna have pine, we're gonna have pine cones, we're gonna have red berries, we're gonna have magnolias. We might even have red roses for a little bit of pop, but we're leaning into the red. I can't think of any like dark blue flowers. I guess that would be appropriate as well, but I can't think of any. So those are the things that we're leaning into. We are not freestyling with like the bright gold glittered magnolia leaves. We're not doing that, okay? We're keeping it simple, we're keeping it classy, we're keeping it muted. It's gonna be very layered, but we're not doing something, again, that is glitzy and glamoury in your face. That is not what we're going for at all. And in this, you're gonna see lots and lots of garland. So we're not just going to have like a little itsy bitsy little piece of garland hanging off of something. We're gonna have 2, 3, 4 layered on top of your mantle. We want it to be thick, we want it to be bulbous, we want it to be taking up space. You're gonna need some zip ties, you're gonna need some command hooks. You might need some rubber bands, but we want it to be thick. We want it to really take up space and anchor everything. We want it to be like overflowing with Christmas. So we don't want this in every part of the home because it's gonna start to feel really, really overwhelming, but we do wanna go big or go home where we are gonna do it, if that makes sense. And something that I think is quintessential Ralph Lauren, and be sure to stay tuned because I'm actually going to do a Christmas decorating video this year. I don't normally share Christmas decor on my channel because it really just doesn't perform well, and this is my job, so I wanna do things that you guys wanna watch. But we're doing Ralph Lauren Christmas, and we ordered the most gorgeous chargers and place and all that stuff from Pottery Barn and Amazon, all those places. I can't wait to share them with you. So stay tuned for that, subscribe, because I'm gonna do a full decorating video. This is my daughter's first Christmas where she like knows she's alive. And I can't wait to make it magical for her like my grandmother did for me. That is gonna be like the greatest gift that I've given myself. So I can't wait to make like the Christmas magic come true for her. She's growing up in such a different world than I did. And I'm so grateful that I can give her all the privileges that I was not afforded. And this is gonna be one of them. Anyway, little mom got sad for a second there. Anyway, stay tuned for that decorating video because I will put all of this into practice very, very soon. Another thing you want to do is you want to cover your surfaces with stuff. So you're going to see like a lot of books, you're going to see a lot of candles, you're going to see candle snuffers, you're going to see just like things people live with, board games. You can use things that scream holiday, that scream people spending time together on display. You want them out. You want to encourage them to play that game of Scrabble and see who wins or who cheats. You know, you want to get people off of their phones. You want to get them fostering conversation. You want to put pictures out so that people are like, oh, what was that? You can have a conversation about those travels. You want more things out than you normally would with this design style. And most importantly, you're going to have a beautifully layered tablescape. The tablescape is really everything. You are going to have chargers, you're going to have a tablecloth, you're going to have a napkin, you're going to have name cards or place cards. You're going to have all of the cutlery. You're going to have beautiful glassware. I actually just got these from Goodwill last week. This is glass, it's not crystal, but oh my gosh, how beautiful are the details there. You're going to have glass and crystal about. You're gonna have a beautiful punch bowl. You want beautiful serveware. That is also a hallmark. People will spend so much on their cups and their plates, and then they have like they're serving the food out of a Tupperware. I get it. I've been there. I am lazy. I am a lazy human being. That's what I want to do. But my mother-in-law, she just has the most beautiful serveware, and it makes everything taste so much more delicious. And she like really only lets us eat salad. So I feel like that's saying something because I hate salad. It's so bad. But it tastes good because it's in pretty serveware. So you want to make sure your serveware is beautiful as well. If you're a drinker, pay attention to your wine bar, your bar area. You want to make sure you have the adornments there as well. We want the little pops of cheer, whether it's with the pine, if you're framing out the art or the mirror above it. You want anchors that also scream Christmas as well. You don't want Christmas throwing up just on the table and it not anywhere else. So you want to apply these things even in like a small capacity all throughout the home. Next, let's talk about the Christmas tree because this is the most important part. So you're not going to have a Christmas tree like the one that I have. You're not going to have a sparse Christmas tree. You're going to have a dense Christmas tree. You want it to be dense because we're going to fill it with stuff, but we're not going to overdo it like you would with a sparse one. In terms of the type of tree, you might want like a fir tree or a spruce tree. You don't want a sparse tree like the sparse cypress that I have. Yes, the type of actual tree you buy does matter. And obviously real is better, but I'm not doing that. You only want warm white lights. You're not getting rainbow lights. You're not getting like bright LED lights. You want warm white lights. We want the same glow that we're getting from like our lamps and our candles coming from our tree. Then in terms of the tree, we're going to take all of the same woodsy items that we disperse throughout the house, and we're also going to put them in the tree. So the pine cones, the magnolia, the red berries, we're going to have those in the tree. Then we're going to kind of cascade a ribbon down the tree. There's nothing that gives me more of a headache than putting ribbon in a tree. Like when I end up filming that video, we will cut out the audio there because I will have no good words coming out of my mouth during the time. I'll have to tell my spouse to take the baby away so that she doesn't hear all the horrible things that I say. But it is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful look. But we're still gonna have the plaid. We're going to have plaid ornaments. We're gonna have plaid ribbon. We're gonna have velvet ornaments. Walmart came out with these beautiful velvet ornaments recently that I think would be really, really spectacular for this. We're gonna have brown, we're gonna have navy, we're gonna have deep green. We're gonna layer the sizes and the colors, but it's not going to feel like we just threw the stuff on the tree. It's going to feel very intentional with the placement of things so that it really comes together beautifully. And when it comes to that tree skirt, I either want you to lean into the velvet. This could be the opportunity to do some faux fur, or we could revisit the plaid one more time. And please don't have an itty bitty skinny Christmas tree. I know we love the itty bitty yellow polka dot bikini for the summertime, but for wintertime we want big and fat, okay? And that's what we want with our Christmas tree. And finally, let's talk ambiance, because ambiance is very, very important. Things can look pretty and the vibe still not be there. We wanna make sure that the house smells right. So as I said at the beginning, light a fire, have some candles. Even if you don't have a fireplace, you know, like those wood wick candles, the crackle of that sounds amazing. Put the fire background on your TV. You can get one on YouTube. You don't have to have a framed TV. Have a simmer pot going. I think a more savory one that has both like woodsy items and like a clove and something a little bit deeper than something that's maybe just citrus based would be better. So like an apple, cinnamon, clove, pine cone, something a little bit deeper with peppercorn even. That is going to articulate the style more, because you think bourbon, you think ginger, you think things like that, and you want that to be kind of like in the scent of the home as well. You're gonna want to turn off that overhead light. Every lamp in your house I want you to turn on. Do you maybe need to crack a window? Maybe, so it doesn't get too hot, but we want every single lamp on, and we really want to fill up the sofa with cushions. So normally I'm like, okay, you want to make sure there's some place for someone to sit. We don't want to do that here. We want it layered. We want the cushions everywhere. We want people to be like, oh, I just really want to sink into that. But no overhead lights, beautiful, beautiful smells. Make sure it's warm and cozy in the space, and make sure that there are blankets available for other people to get warm and cozy. We also just want the overall vibe to feel like structured in the place we need structure, so in the dining room and the kitchen, and relaxed in the other parts of the home. It's a really, really, really significant contrast that is going to feel very different when you're enveloping the space, but in a very beautiful way. Because I think it's very representative of how most of us live our lives in relationships and things like that. But that is my guide to the Ralph Lauren Christmas look. I broke it down so that you can accomplish it in your own home. I hope you're walking away from today's video feeling really, really confident, and all of the items that you saw pop up on the screen are actually shoppable. So you can either shop them via the carousel that you saw up on the screen, but I've also linked them all down in the description box so that you can pick them up for yourselves and apply them in your own home. As you saw, the items that I used weren't super duper expensive. I just showed you how to achieve the look for less. And I'm definitely not saying don't shop at Ralph Lauren, because Ralph Lauren is one of my like aspirational stores. When I have the really, really big bucks, that's where I'm going to be shopping, because their stuff is well made. It's affordable. It's pretty much all I wear in terms of fashion. Love it. I just wanted to make the style a little bit more affordable, because you can achieve the look for less. If you liked today's video, please consider smashing that subscribe button. But until next time, have a beautiful day.